Can everyone hear me in the back? First, I am deeply warmed and honored by the showing of support that's here today. Folks from both sides of the aisle recognize the fact that Judy Jacobs was a tremendous legislator in our respective community, respective county. And we're warmed also by the fact that there are so many community and business groups that are here as well to recognize this dedication of our legislative wing to Legislator Jacobs. So I also, and former presiding officer, but I would be doing a tremendous disrespect to her colleagues, which I look out and there's too many for me to name. But if you have served with Judy Jacobs, please rise and be recognized at this time. As you all will know, we have a legislative meeting that begins at 1 o'clock, but before I'm going to do my comments later, but before anything else, I want to bring up to you Linda Geller, who I knew first originally as Linda Jacobs, but I remember Linda coming to visit her mom in her legislative office at 1 West. Many a time we would be having lunch and eating Chinese food in Judy's office. And Judy's office was always a warm place. It was always like home. This was like her second home, this place. And to me, it was fitting that we make this dedication today. But Linda, would you just join us for some brief comments in regards to...
Thank you all so much for being here today. It's so nice to see all your faces and a lot of familiar faces, and this truly was my mom's second home. You know, she was a legislator for over 20 years and she loved what she did. She truly loved what she did. And she loved helping the community, she loved working with her colleagues, she loved working with people on her side as well as those on the other side of the party line. She was a real team player, and I think that she would love this dedication today. I know it means the world to us. Unfortunately, the rest of my family couldn't be here because of work, but I'm here to represent them and to tell you that it's an honor that you're naming this after her, and I know, hopefully she's with us right now, and she is loving this. So I really appreciate it very much.
Thank you. The unveiling that's going to happen later, I just wanted to present Judy also with a citation from our office in all her recognition of work that she has done, not just for Legislative District 16, but also for Nassau County and Long Island as a region. Next, I would like to bring up Judy Bosworth, Supervisor Judy Bosworth. Judy and Robert might remember this, we always had to basically go through the practice of, no, it's Judy with the I that needs this versus Judy with the Y. But the two of them had a passion for education, and we saw that there were many issues that joined Judy Bosworth and Judy Jacobs together, and they served together in the legislature, and I would be honored, Judy with the I, if you could come present us with some comments.
It's such an honor to be here, and Linda, I have to say, it's wonderful to see you here because Norma turned to me, she looked like looking at Judy, and having you here, making your remarks, really makes us feel that Judy is in the room with us, and she is, we know that. I had the great honor of working with Judy Jacobs for not enough years, but for some years, and we had an immediate affinity for so many of the same issues, and I think of some of the issues that we worked so hard on together, different smoking issues, and that was, Judy did that in honor of her beloved Sydney, and we weren't all that successful, but we certainly raised consciousness about the need to have different regulations against smoking, and I will say that at North Hempstead, and I have many colleagues from North Hempstead here with me today, Viviana, Peter, Lee, Wayne, and we worked very hard together to get the Tobacco 21 law passed, and we did that in Judy's name. And because we knew how important it was to her. Another thing that was so important to Judy, that's why I'm so happy to see Joanne Borden and so many members of the transgender community and the gay and lesbian community here today as well, because there was that real passion that Judy had to get the transgender language into the anti-discrimination codes here. I'm confident that at some point that would be successful. But again, Judy led the way. And so we stand together knowing of so many of the issues that were important to Judy, that were important to so many of us. And so to have this wing named in Judy's honor, we know that that passion, that commitment, her integrity, and her service above self will always be here in these halls, because it has to be, because it's in Judy's name. Thank you.
Before I bring up our next speaker, Presiding Officer Gonzalez, I do want to recognize this institution has been around for 20 years. And there's only a few of us, not even me, that have been serving with Judy during that entire time. And I just want to give recognition to Deputy Presiding Officer Nicolello. I saw Legislator Dennis Dunn, and then Legislator Muscarella, also here in the back, have served with Judy from day one, and they're the only ones that can say that. And I want to be able to thank them for being here today, but thank them for always putting the county first and working and trying to work in a bipartisan manner when working with Judy in her presiding officer capacity. That being said, I would like to welcome up to this podium our presiding officer, Norma Gonzalez.
Thank you very much. Come on, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I think today is a day of mixed emotions for me. Earlier, we honored Judy with the Trailblazers Award ceremony. And I go back with Judy over 20 years. I may not have been a legislator when I first met her. I was trying to be in 1995. And I will tell you that as soon as Judy and I met, we knew there was a bond. And she may have been a Democrat and I a Republican, it made no difference, because our motivation was the same. And that motivation was to serve. And I think Judy served in a capacity that is very difficult to emulate. She always had a smile. She always tried to do the right thing. She was a good communicator. And most of all, she was a good government official. She knew what her job was, and her job was to serve. And she did that to the best of her ability. And I think that was one of the things that Judy and I connected with. And I'll never forget when we were both running in '95, that's why I say I know Judy over 20 years. She said to me, "You're like me." And I said, "Yeah." And I'm like you. And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because first of all, you're a public servant. Second of all, you're an educator. And third of all, you're a family lady." And so with those attributes, you have to be successful. And that's why Judy was successful. She was truly a public servant. I think about her often. We're reminded about Judy when we look at a picture in the chamber. And I say, hopefully, other legislators will follow in her footsteps, because I try the best I can to do what I know Judy would like me to do. She and I were grassroots. Guess what? Grassroots came to be, but she may not be here on this earth, but she's still here in spirit, and she's thought about me. So I thank you for sharing her with us, and I thank everybody else for doing the same. And I don't know whether I want to cry or smile or what, but thank you, Yvonne, because this is a proud moment for all of us. It's been a good beginning to today, and it's ending on a good note. Okay?
So far, we gotta go over. Today speaks volumes to the testament and the ability that Judy Jacobs brought to the legislature. And I would be remiss, because I know a lot of our colleagues in government throughout the towns, the villages, and counties here with her today, but there were folks that were part of her staff from day one that were truly tremendous. And I saw Carol earlier, and I saw Chuck earlier, and Sarah Flammer. Just wave to everybody, Carol and Chuck. Where's Chuck? Humor and the beauty in Judy, and some funny stories probably as well, that occurred here in the legislature. But as I said before earlier today at the Women's History Celebration, Judy was a friend to all. She was a best of friend to me. The reason I stand here before you today, and the reason I'm in this position that I'm in today, the wisdom and the guidance that Legislator Jacobs, Judy Jacobs, provided to me was tremendous. I saw her in some ways like a second mom. She was always there, not just to feed me Chinese food in her office, but she was always there to share a kind word. And she never really, like any mom, she never really truly wanted to have you upset with her. But she was somebody that I truly believe embodied everything good about our county, and that demonstrated it with the people of the 16th district. Judy obviously was a mom, and she was a grandmom, and many don't know this on her license plate, because I went through, over the years, with Judy getting different vehicles, she always made sure she had Juju on her license plate. She was Grandma Juju to her grandchildren, but she was also Juju for this county. She was a phenomenal lady, and it gives me great amount of pleasure to be able to recognize her and to make this dedication today. I said before earlier that Judy, I want people, when I'm long and gone, and when my colleagues here that are long and gone from this legislative body, I want people to continue to see and envision when they walk through these hallways, and even Google when they see the name Judy Jacobs Legislative Wing, and ask who that was and what she did, and when they Google it, see all the great things that she was about. She was a phenomenal person, and I want people to see for decades and centuries to come as they walk through this chamber what she meant to this legislative body. So that being said, if you can join me on the other side of the chamber, where we can make the...
We're going to let press have a minute to get around.
Of course. You think we have Laura here? To make the formal dedication. But I want to continue to thank each and every one of you for being here and participating today. Thank you.
I'm going to remove the podium.